Ariella Zeitlin is a world-renowned violinist and singer and songwriter, known for her upbeat, original style. She's from Baltimore, and she received an MA in violin performance from the Jerusalem Academy of Music, sponsored in part by scholarships from the Israel America Cultural Foundation, and has hundreds of thousands of viewers on her YouTube. Let's meet her now. Hello.
How you doing, Adassa?
So young, fresh, beautiful.
Today's my birthday.
Oh my God! Happy birthday!
Thank you. You said young, and I'm 35.
In your performances, you move around like a little child, barefoot. I mean, this is amazing. I saw you. Somebody told me about you. I started watching your videos. I was totally taken by it. I loved them. Tell me about it a bit. How you got into this?
You mentioned before that I was born in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I was born in Baltimore, and I moved to Israel when I was 17.
Yeah.
And I was always very serious as like a classical player, but after I finished...
So you're born as a classical player?
I was a classical player, yeah.
Of violin?
Yeah.
Always violin?
Always violin.
When did you start?
When I was 7. When I was 7, so that's...
It's something that you liked, or it's something in the family, or they pushed you?
It was something that I wanted. It's in my family. My grandfather was a very well-known violinist. His name was Zeitlin.
Okay, so the genes are there.
But I really pushed for it, as a kid. And then I came to Israel, and I really started performing like what you've seen in performances after I finished my degree. Like after I was out of this kind of rigid classical
How do you start performing
structure?
Like, how does it work? Like you're a good violinist, and suddenly you start performing.
Well,
I
started doing events. I started getting invited to things. This kind of thing is all penals, and it's all like one person hears about you or sees you, or then they call you because they saw you in this and that. So that's how everything gets from one thing to another.
Right.
And but yeah, I kind of once I left the kind of classical scene.
That's it.
Then I was like, okay, now I just want to have fun.
So you created your own style. Like you are the owner of your own style.
I am the owner of my own style.
I heard you playing the Pirates of the Caribbean's soundtrack with a beat and in the desert. The whole combination was fantastic.
So one of my big loves is movie music. I love soundtracks.
How do you get ready for such a performance? I mean, you are barefoot, you are giving it all, you are dancing, I saw it.
It's so funny because I'm really into my shoes. I
saw it barefoot.
Right. So I don't know what you saw, but I love either I wear great shoes or I don't wear shoes. It's one or the other. Either I have really gorgeous shoes or I'm very into my shoes. So it's just funny that you said barefoot. I love being barefoot, but I also if I'm going to wear shoes, I'm going to wear the most.
But it's also
craziest
you
ones.
get in touch with the crowd. You're with them. You really get the mood going.
Right. So I really believe that as musicians, it's our job, and this is something that as a classical performer, I kind of felt like that whole world is a little bit disconnected from the fact that music is supposed to be engaging. Music is supposed to bring people in a way, give them a feeling, give them an experience. So I've worked a lot in what I do to kind of figure out how I can use music to connect to other people, how I can bring people in. I would say that that's probably the thing that I'm best at or known for or whatever, is that it's really, really important for me, what my audience experiences.
I see that you did The Voice of Israel.
Right.
How did it go?
It was fun. It was a whole experience. I'm very proud that I did it. And I'm very, and it did whatever it did for me.
Here in Israel, you made Aliyah, you were married, you have 2 children.
I got 2
who are
kids.
also musical, I believe.
Yeah.
Your daughter sings.
Amazing. Yeah.
She's with you on a few video clips I saw.
Yeah. My kids are now getting to the age that they're aware of what the power of video is. So for a very long time, I would be come be in my video with me, and they would be no, we don't want. But now they're starting to be more aware, so they get more excited about being parts of things, which is just really fun for me that we've moved to that stage.
What's for the future? Where do you want to get to? What's your goal?
What's my goal?
Yeah.
I want a Grammy. I'd that's my,
I can see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
Okay, you'll be there. I'll bring you along. This year, I've done a bunch of projects with organizations to raise money for causes that I really believe in. And this is something that I see for myself as something that it's meaningful, it's impactful, and it uses all of my skills.
That's amazing.
So I think that that's where that's where I'm going to be for like the next 10 years, is focusing on that. Like, how can I use my skills to like to make impactful performances and convince people to give money to organizations that I believe in. Like, that's kind of where my heart is right now.
But maybe you'll write yourself the soundtrack of a movie.
Oh yeah, that's on there.
No?
That's one
that
of.
That should be nice.
One of, yeah.
That's how you're gonna win your Grammy.
Yeah, maybe. That would be so cool.
You sing also?
I was doing both. I was singing and I was playing. And at a certain point, I made the kind of conscious decision to become branded as a violinist, and that being my thing.
How many violins do you have?
How many do I have? I have 4 that I use. Like, I've got a classical that plugs in, and 2 electrics that I use on a regular basis.
What's better, normal or an electric?
I prefer acoustic. I write on acoustic. That's what I've studied on, and that's, my whole life, that's what I played on. So like, that's kind of my natural voice. Corona, I was putting out music like every week. Right. During Corona, and that's how my numbers on Spotify kind of exploded, like, because I was all the time putting out new music.
You're everywhere, music, right? YouTube, Spotify, everybody can find you.
Everywhere. But like during Corona, I wrote a lot of like very quiet, like soulful, like deep, that's kind of the direction that I went during Corona, which these days I'm not doing a lot of that because like Corona's over, so like I want let's party.
Ariella, thank you so much. It was really good to get to know you. I hope people go and find your music online. It's everywhere, and we look forward to more performances and a Grammy.
Amen.
I'm coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it.